We are live. Sorry, headphone users. Right. I thought there was one more bolt left, and I'd take it off and just karate chop my neck.
We're filming the rod bearing service on the M3 here at Wile Motorsport, so I figured I'm going to do a video on it anyway, what I'm doing, but why not just show it live? Why not? Yeah, it is under the knife. It's honestly, it feels like going in for preventive surgery, but the surgery could be dangerous too, so I have a little bit of anxiety about it, but I trust this one.
I like it. I've done it before.
Fingers crossed that that's still dry.
I'll take a look at it.
It's not an engine out, but you do have to disconnect quite a few things.
Procedures to take the transmission out. Yeah.
Well, it's not. It doesn't look like it's doing the thing with the line.
No, the lines look good. For some reason, BMW is happy having not making gasket properly.
Yeah. No, I know the M5. I think needs the belt cover gasket.
Seat.
What the gasket you use?
I mean, it's not as bad as it was, so that's good. But
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's avoid her with fluids.
It's at 80,000 miles right now, 81, 82.
Need a big memory I will. Thank you. And yeah, if you know anyone that needs work, call Coach. We work on just the induction work. All right, very good. Later, dude. See ya. 25 employee electrician company. He started when he was as co-op when he was in Tri-County tech school. He joined this as a co-op, and he just bought the last owner out. Pretty cool. keys in the air logo? There's 8 here.
Never get to do that at the same time. Well, I always have to do we kind of do them one by one a little bit.
Yeah.
I just do the rear first, so that way I don't have to reach through the front one off.
Well, yeah, if you're doing it on your back, it kind of it makes a difference, but you guys doing it on a lift so much.
Yeah.
For years of working on my back, it's so nice to have a lift.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, this is very common. It's very similar to kind of oh my God, what am I trying to say here? The IMS bearing on a Porsche pre-2009. The M5 is at my parents' house.
Wait for hibernation.
I don't know what I'm doing this year, actually. It might live outside this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I lost my garage because the guy sold his farm.
Oh. Get a good car cover.
Yeah, it has a thing. It has like a big, thick, nice outdoor. Yeah, it's done outdoor duty before. It wouldn't be its first time. I mean, I figure as long as it's out of the salt, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, my thankfully it's on a trailer too, so it doesn't get all the moisture from the ground. Yeah. It didn't have a couple out there since went from being okay to just
Right.
I always leave the caps out for extended periods of time to get as much oil out as I can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just ends up raining down on
Yeah, this is like the ultimate oil change.
Oh, yeah.
I think the electrical system is a little.
It's the spring clock spring. Yeah.
That happened in the Miata when I was at Cumberland Farms, and it wouldn't shut off when you turned the key on. And I literally had a dude come up to me who just starts telling me how he fixed the horn in his 66 Fairlane or something like that. He's trying to make eye contact with me while I'm sitting there trying to fix a horn going off. I can't hear him.
You're like, this is not the ideal conversation.
I get you're old and you haven't seen anyone all day.
Boomers.
I prefer it. I don't talk to people a lot. Are you live right now? Yeah. I should watch stories. Hey, Evan, do you have Sonic's Heat Impact packages?
Yes.
Found one.
19? Yeah, I was looking for that yesterday.
What are we disconnecting now?
This is the power steering lines. And the Ricky's power steering rack. Because once I get all of this disconnect, I'll disconnect the control arms, steering rack, a bunch of these cooler lines. Just gonna drop this whole front subframe right off, and that'll give us full access to the pan. Running along the subframe.
Where are you guys at now for this job? 8 hours? I don't know. Someone asked, so I don't know what it is. That's a Jake question.
People yelling next door. I just thought Chris was watching TV a little loud.
Yeah. Chris will binge watch like for like 3 weeks. He watched every Trailer Park Boy.
And like, then all of a sudden you walk in and like you're like, is this Parks and Rec? And yeah, I finished Trailer Park Boys.
Well, I'm like you. Like I'll watch Archer 9,000 times.
Yeah,
Like I'm fine with that.
okay. That all started. It started like Simpsons for me, where I'd be hanging out with car guys doing Simpsons lines, and it started when it started being Family Guy lines. Now it's Archer lines. And then I've been watching AVE on YouTube.
He's great.
He's great, but I say things like in front of my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, no," I say like, "This ain't teabag," or "What do you tell a camera with 2 black eyes?" That's his new thing. Well, his camera will never focus. So my wife's like, "That's not appropriate around a kid."
Love you, dude, and I fully support gays operating motor vehicles unsupervised. The police are always watching, so. Oh man, this car has definitely seen winters now. Looks like it's still a little weak in the back of that. Not as bad as it was, but. Ooh, I think the hoses look good. Might be a gasket.
Of course, I grabbed the one that we already stole for reference now.
The more shit we do, the more RTV we use. Crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is like you gotta follow the manual. The manual says not to use it. So you say, all right, I'll use the OE gasket. Still doesn't do it. There's one seam here that is a case seam. I don't think this is causing a leak. It's less than that is. You can see the RTV coming out there and there, but not there. But I can see it up here. I can see it right here. Bring it in again. So like even the before like metal gasket, metal profile gaskets, don't work. You need both sides and then it's it. Like treating it like contact cement more. And then you using brake clean or xylene or whatever the crap in there is, wiping it down. Any oil off the mating surface. That's the way these things are made is dry. You know, we're trying to freaking wet.
These things are the greatest. Why did YouTube recommend me this video? Probably because you look up E92 rod bearing services regularly because you're living in fear, like pretty much every M3 owner. So I'm doing the VAC calico bearings with the ARP bolts. So that's what we're doing. A lot of people live and die by BE. That's fine too. The reason BE was a big deal for a while was because they were the only ones doing increased clearances. Now VAC is increased clearance as well, and that's pretty much the gold standard. So you know, that's like if you go to, there's some shops in California that literally like all week long they just do rod bearing services, and they probably make like 90% of their money off of rod bearing services on these cars. So you can imagine they're cash cows, but a lot of those guys run VAC every single day. So that's the situation.
Because you're living in fear.
It's true. You buy this car, and if you knew about it, you're like, okay, this is my game plan to prevent explosions. If you didn't know about it, you buy the car, you think you're hot shit, you probably have a loan on it, and then someone tells you that you need a $2,000 service just for driving it. Like, that's just, you know, the way it goes.
Yeah. Very soft motor.
We have a lot of customers who bought their cars new,
Yeah.
and they just don't know any of the stuff. And it's not their fault because they didn't shop for it. So they
Right.
didn't have to do research.
Imagine having bought this car in 2008, not knowing any of the failure points. That's why I'll never buy a new car like the first year it comes out.
Well, I think there's nothing wrong with buying a new car. You just need to make sure your warranty doesn't end on you.
Right. I'll buy a new car, but I'll buy a new car when it's like the last 2 years of its life. Like the, you know, if like I would if I had the money, I would have bought like a 2011 through 13 one of these new, because you'd be like, okay, great, I can afford it, and I know all the failure points. But before you know failure points, it's just a whole mess.
Well, so we get them we talk to them about maintenance, and it's like we start talking about preventative maintenance, especially in S54, where it's like, all right, you need to start thinking about your bearings, you need to start thinking about your Vanos, or your Vanos, you have 125,000 miles, so the first thing they say is, oh, the bearings were already replaced. And I go, when? And they say, at 20,000 miles. Yeah, okay, so you have 100,000 on them. And a lot of people are like, oh no, screw this, and they go get a new one. See, like, just show a bit more of a grinder. Get some I need
Some 1/16 drill bits to replace our missing ones. Excuse me, YouTube. I need my safety wire.
They're at work.
Don't forget your Harbor Freight safety wire equipment.
this is part of the wire.
I read it. I said it out loud. People are weird. It was a comment that like someone made some weird comment like, oh, I totally support gays operating unsupervised or something. And he was like, you don't have the balls to read my comment? I'm like, no, I did. I read it like a while ago. I said
I read it out loud.
Say it again. I want you to tattoo that shit on you.
Yeah, you might want to open that up. Maggie forgot her phone. Someone called, don't answer, keeps calling.
That's probably me. No, sadly, all our texts are just about babies or cats. Nothing exciting. Cultural Marxism. No, I know it's a joke. That's why I laughed at it. Are we still talking about this?
You guys hear me? He's having a room.
That's the sound of 80,000 mile New England M3.
Yeah. Luckily, these cars, even if they've been kind of driven in the winter and snow, they're mostly aluminum. So
I know that's why this car was the choice. I was like, okay, there's a lot of plastic on it too. Even the front fenders are all plastic.
And all the kind of vital bits are covered by plastic shrouding and everything. So it keeps most of the salt and the grime off.
Yeah.
But the real key is getting your car washed every week or so in the winter. Getting the undercarriage.
I don't do that. I should.
That's funny.
I mean, I used to do it all the time, but I haven't found a good.
I need to do a better job of that.
Kind of dangle.
I'll be on this in a minute.
Oh, we all have a can, but there's no new can. I did 120 with a Ford F-150. He told me it was an undercover prop. But I was like, so we were trying to keep up with stories like that. An undercover prop pulled up next to me. Basically gave me a thumbs down and took off his company. Screw you! And I downshifted and I chased him. I was at 836. I got to like 100. I got to like 105. Like 30 Carlings. So I just stayed behind him doing 105. All of a sudden, that 150 right here, doing 106. So I pulled over. We kept changing, like who was in front, and all of a sudden I got back to a great time I had. Ducks over with full blues on. The black F-150 race undercover. He was wearing well, he must have been a detective or like a narc. He had on Kappa, like Kappa, a white beater, and it's like he had his badge around his neck with Kappa. And he came to the car and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing? Do you race this thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." What the fuck are you doing? I'm so sorry. Where do you race? I told him, and he didn't yell at me anymore. I was so nervous. You could have run me to jail. But he was cool. Oh, Bob, you heard the story of racing a limousine and losing?
You did?
Yeah, I was in my white E36 on 495, and all of a sudden I look behind me and there's an Alpina V7. This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and so I pulled in the middle lane, and he pulls to the left lane, and I look, and this little white coconut head is looking at me through the rear window. I realize it's like a 90-year-old dude looking at me, and it was a big driver, a big guy, and I give him a thumbs up, and he gives me a thumbs up, and he leans forward and taps on the driver's shoulder, and he goes, "Go!"
Send it. That's amazing.
Downshift, and I didn't realize how embarrassed I was going to be.
Those were fast.
To me.
Yeah, those were twin turbo.
Great. What's up?
Standoff. So give me 3.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to look for or rate. I've seen it done at some local shop. It's like out of necessity. And it was just there was damage and accident or something like that. It was, but it was all DIY guys. So they had a lift. It was, and then on the 6 wheelers, they have to go have work on it. That's what I'll start right up. Kind of waiting on the remounts, but how do you weld those in there? So,
I'm gonna lose my mind. Looking for my
you're
kid.
gonna help me remount a lift. Sure, you can like try it, but you're gonna pay someone a lot of money.
I have a bad habit of not putting my tools down where I can remember where I put them.
I try to drive another place. Yeah. Later, Gabe, I can let you go. No. He's nice. So they do it. It's a 9. It's like another 9.
Oh, this is Eva. Hi, Eva.
Hi.
She works for the parts company. Oh, cool. So she's here 3 or 4 times a day. So she bought an E46 330 Ci 5-speed.
Oh,
And
so she's one of them.
She put 70,000 miles on it in a year.
Sweet. Holy shit.
Yeah. Is that about right, Eva?
Maybe a little more than that. I'm 10,000 away from 100,000. Yeah, so I'm
90,000.
90,000 in a year. I bought the car. This is right now. This month, I don't know
These are oil cooler line.
how's the homeowners.
Maggie, if you're watching, we have your phone. So if you're wondering where it is.
But you hooked it to work with the overlay. You can see what they're doing.
I don't like direct light. I want indirect lighting in my life.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, so indirect lighting is like, under counter lights or like when you can't see the bulb.
Yeah, if you get love and then like cast shadow and it's really good.
Speaking of this light gets to be annoying. Oh, so no.
Good. It's actually nice. I don't have to wear my headlamp. Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
I want to pick your brain on what you think this car's worth.
Which car? The Interlagos one?
Yeah,
Okay, miles.
41,000. Year? 05.
Whoa, all right.
Competition package? Yes. Yes. I think comfortably you could ask like 22, 24. Max market value, probably around 32. There. For a car that had frame. Oh, this is it. Okay. I think that then I'll say 87. Probably $40,000. I feel like that shows me. I think that it's real. This car's been active 3 years ago. It's the original owner crashed it out. This front worn and this piece here. So I cut the whole frame rail out back to the firewall. Put it in and replace the frame. Yeah, so I didn't want anything. 6 welds, and then this is the new piece. And the car is perfectly square. Honestly, I think because of that, it's still probably. I have 18. have an interior. Buy an interior. $2,000. So, and then the one problem is that's not so like, you can, yeah. What do you want? Then when people look at the M5 and they're like, oh, like any one track on the car, like, seats have low wear on them. Yeah. Sit in it. Do you know Emilio? Yeah. So Emilio's has 40 million miles, which is nothing compared to the E36. So he, not as bad as Jake, but he's like, I want to sell it. He came here and he's like, I want to sell it. He's like, it isn't great, basically. It's like, I thought it was going to be great. It isn't great. And he's run it twice and we've gone over it. We're like, okay, there's no play in any bushings. Everything's been replaced. And then he said, he was describing what you want. And I was like, just buy those PSSs. If that's what you want. You need new springs and shocks. Yeah. He said, how much are those? And I was like, $1,200. From unfortunately, the rear interior. It's like really big option. And I went on eBay and I found one for I found a pair, a whole brand new set for $5.99. I handed him my phone. I made him buy it right there. And now he bought the car. And now, well, he's there for himself. Okay. And then, unfortunately, winter, you gotta leave the normal height. Yeah.
Ooh, your E90 spun the mains? That's rare. That's an F80 thing.
Spin the mains.
That's an engine out project.
Yeah, I've never heard of that on
I bet
this.
someone worked on the engine and then put it back together, right?
Yeah, I've definitely. I mean, people have definitely do that all the time on. Well, not all the time. It's more rare than the rod bearings going on an E92 M3 to have to replace the main on an F80. It's a very, very small chance, but that's the only failure point of the F80 that anyone knows.
Interesting fact: trying to chase down records on cars that were for work that was done at the dealership. Only the person who paid for it can
Yes.
get that information.
Yeah, it's crazy. They like your headlamp.
It's just an Olight S1R baton. Just clips right onto the hat. $50 on Amazon. Best fucking $50.
It's a good light. I wish we were sponsored by that.
Chinese.
Just send hundreds of them.
I'm sure if you contacted Olight, they'd be like,
Yeah, sure. Actually, yeah.
stop raining down on this. It's not a way for business.
Yeah, what's the next step?
Next step is dropping the subframe. Just placing tools. Doesn't help that I'm working on this very small.
What we're doing is, so normally he works on that lift over there and chose to use this lift. So it's kind of like a barber. Like they all have their tools and their things and their set places and their stations. But we've moved over here. So
Yeah,
now he has to bring all of his stuff over here. So pardon that.
You can only see the hole that's in the other car over there.
That was on. Right now, it's not many. It's like 13 people, but it's going to be like a 7-hour stream. So folks will be around.
So I texted my girlfriend that I was live, and she's like, "I'm watching." And I waved, and she goes, "She waved back like a nerd." Oh boy. Let's see.
This has got to be the first time those have ever been torqued with a torque wrench.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to do it properly.
I am very appreciative of that.
It's kind of more peace of mind for me when I'm doing big jobs like this.
Just to do step-by-step
Yeah.
checklist, yeah.
Because I'll lay in bed and wake at night going, did I torque that?
Torque paint is literally like I have no more warm and fuzzy feeling than when I come back from here and open my hood and there's just torque paint all over the
Yeah,
fucking
just
car.
paint marks
And I'm
everywhere.
like, God, I love you.
I use my paint marker probably more than I use any other writing.
Oh, for sure.
It combined.
It's just good insurance.
Yeah.
For yourself. You can be like, okay.
Did I
did
torque
it.
that? Okay, yes, I did.
Yep, I did.
Because there's so many parts and pieces, bolts and nuts and other distractions going on. People needing help.
Yeah. In which case,
Somebody else goes to look at it.
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Also, feel free to just push me out of the fucking way today.
Oh, you won't be. All right.
I'm like every mechanic's worst nightmare because most mechanics are like, yeah, you wait in the waiting room, where I come out with a DSLR, a computer with a live stream on YouTube, and a bunch of equipment and lighting. So I very much appreciate that they let me do this. Is your light rechargeable?
Yes.
It is rechargeable.
I should be.
I would never tell them what to do.
actually, with it being stuck on it, it's actually a good sign because most of the time they're just sheared completely off. There you go. Did you drone drive some zip ties?
Yep.
Bucket.
He's in a bucket too.
Yeah. Just pull that over.
This is in my garage right now. I think I have my head. Back of the truck on my street. And maybe something. It was like a 10 to 36 piece or 10 to 36 millimeter set for like $130. After that. Oh yeah, those motor mounts look real nice.
Yeah, this one's
Did we order you new motor mount?
Yes. There you go. That's gross.
doing a whole lot of good. At least it didn't break here. And there's no fluid. There's fluid inside it.
Sure, it looked a lot like that while I was running Thompson and Palmer.
Yeah. Got a few details.
Proper headers.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty shocked. I don't
Cute's
think
not quite the right word.
I like how I'm in trouble. Someone asked me. Who is it? Steve.
Oh. Yeah, you tried calling me.
Oh, I'll give him just give him a call. I told you you were busy anyway. So. Don't film the house meeting. I'm gonna find my glass slipper and I'll be out of here. He wants it back. He'd love it back. Alright guys, the subframe is on the floor now. We've just pulled out one of the motor mounts. This is what they look like. They are heritage.
Gabbage.
Good to know. Look how cool this friggin' exhaust manifold is on the F55, but we're just about to drop the pan and get into these rod bearings. So check out the live stream on YouTube on Chedwood Drives. made you a motor mount.
That's you.
Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, you did a good job. Oh wait, was that? Yeah, that's the one. The Jake special. So good. Last year. Not perfect. I think I've grown this time. Yeah. It's a lot easier to tell racers that they wore something out early. It's just doing 30,000 miles horsepower on your car in 3 hours. Hard to wrap your head around when you're just like an autocross and you're driving on the
When you take a vacation from work, is it so you can stand under your car for 8 hours?
have dinner with him, boss.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. All right.
Here's one of the motor mounts. I'm pretty happy that we're going to be replacing this.
Yes.
I can show you our special tool for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
So, I don't need it yet, but I just want to show it to you. Sure. That's just a control arm. Right. So, in order to get these torques, they have a nice little tunnel in the oil pan, but you can't use regular sized torques. And you get this special tool. Basically, it's a 1/4 inch bit driver. But I had red Loctited one into a 1/4 inch drive socket. I'll be able to access it.
It's in the hole.
Specialized tools.
I feel like you guys make a lot of specialized tools.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the time. Grinding. He had to grind a socket to make a tool the other day.
Yeah. Hold on, we'll go through the. Where is she? Weird.
Put it in the engine.
Oh, here it is. So it was a 12 point to get a Torx that I couldn't reach on someone's something.
Let's talk about this one.
Oh yeah, that one was goofy too.
This was for the N20 oil pump nut holder or gear sprocket holder.
I like it. Specialty toolkit. Anything there is made.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's another one.
That's the one he made.
Yeah.
It worked. Why don't you get the job done?
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have 2 days to wait for the new tool to arrive. You know, a tool I threw out, Tom, actually made for your car. Yeah, my wheel has the offset. The wheel bolts on the M5. Yeah. I threw it out recently because I was like, now we have 2 of them. 2 of the real ones. So when Evan showed up to work here, he helped me do a rear subframe, and I burnt out all the bushings, and he was like, "There's other ways to do this." I said, "Yeah, the toolkit's like so expensive. You can buy a universal toolkit." Okay, so we found one for like $49. Never burnt out another one again. Thanks, Evan.
No problem.
And now we own all the specialty tools. So.
Well, I didn't work in a while. It was fun to make around.
No, it's not.
Didn't we burn an E30 control arm out last year?
If we did, I couldn't do it.
Cancer. I gotta make some loud noises with a grinder.
Whatever.
All right, cool. I'll find some safety squints first.
Yeah, that's a certain tensioner. You have to take it off because it's mounted to the oil pan.
Thanks, BMW.
You seen the regular thing up more yet?
Oh, it's the first thing I saw.
Did Evan tell you when he wants to swap in there?
I was thinking a dial and turbo rear end.
But then we realized the V10 Carrera engine and transmission would fit in that hole.
That'd be fun.
It'd be quite the fabrication process.
I don't know how readily available Carrera GT engines are.
And
Well,
transmissions.
for-
I need a complete rear end.
I'm sure Porsche has a few sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, I'm sure they're as expensive as the car.
First, you gotta guess the VIN number.
Yeah, I know, right? Just call back every month. Get a digit off.
And then you have to try to figure out the name
Yeah.
associated with it. I do have a good career story. Mike Whitner over at Westwood Porsche.
He recently got to drive home at 918. I think it was from their grand opening.
Yeah, yeah.
The customer said, I got to run. Why don't you bring my 918 home? And he'd actually, I think it might have been the same customer owned a Carrera GT, and a few years earlier he had got to drive the Carrera GT on the highway. He said the Carrera GT clutch engaged like an on-off switch, and it was jerky and undrivable. Yeah, it was just, and you're driving and you're death gripping the wheel just for sheer terror. And then he said he drove the 918.
It's a limo.
He said it was like he said it was like a hybrid Camry.
Yeah.
When you're on the highway, just 80 miles an hour, totally silent. And then when you want it, it's all there. Yeah, new cars are weird.
I put 300 miles on the Jaguar this year.
Look all the road driving on the Porsche.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to be apologizing for the abuse I put this car through. It really doesn't do. I drive it on the highway at like 72 miles an hour, like all day, every day. It's just the most steady state car, unless it's at a common event.
Yes, but then you go sliding sideways in the salt with it.
Well, I mean, snow is water, so that washes it off, right?
I mean, yeah. I don't see any problem with your argument there.
I figure I'll do another 20 or 30,000 miles on this car, and then we'll call it.
Would you get the F80?
I would actually. I used to not think that, but I really like the F80. I think the F80 four-door M3 just looks really sexy. And then I haven't driven a competition package yet, but from what I'm told, it solved all the issues that I didn't like about the car to begin with. So
I will have an M2 someday. I don't really care if it has the S55 or not.
yeah, I honestly prefer the N55.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone about the other day. I kind of remember reading a sales brochure where the M2 did have something different in the engine. But then someone was telling me that it didn't. It was just a production engine.
Like I've driven the competition package, and it drives more like an AMG, an old AMG car, where it just wants to spin the rears, and it doesn't have the sense that like if you were on a racetrack with it, you'd be very annoyed because you have to just be so cautious on the throttle on corner exit. I don't really like. I kind of
Or you
prefer-
can solve that with slicks and a little arrow.
It's a lot though. It really just wants to rip the back.
I plan to bet my son at the track in the next. Not to me talking the same.
Yeah.
Yes. Remove bolt. Remove bolt. Remove another bolt. Well, at least the pan's coming down now. We're to the point where the pan is ready to move.
Timing for a job like this is usually anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours, I think, something like that.
How are you getting home, Tom?
Yeah, I know it. The rally car, it's back.
It is. I was driving it the other day and it smelled really bad. And I opened the hood and it was just oil pouring down the back of the valve cover. And I was like, how'd this happen? I looked down and there's a broken motor mount stud. Oh, the engine tried to escape. It hit the firewall. What? Yes. I did finally get to use the hydro brake in it though. I've never used a hydro brake, and then Zach prevented me from getting to test it. Yeah, Zach really fucked that up. He really did. Oops. Oh. Oh wow. Jesus. Hydro brake only makes products that last 5 years.
They like on the day.
Third level up.
I'm not close yet. I mean, I'm close. I'm not that close.
That's what she said.
Take a little bit more foreplay. It's like how Chris came over here. He's like, Evan, you're in trouble.
Take a picture of you and Tom and put it on Instagram. Why don't you get your camera and fake film or real film,
Pretend to do your job.
and then I can tag your YouTube, and Instagram.
Sounds good. Are you about to drop it?
No.
Okay.
Am
I'm gonna put my.
using a very inappropriate tool to touch something while I do this, or
No.
or am I actually doing?
dildo with a torch attached to it?
Tom, if you can go over to the left of your light.
That's what me and Noah used to love to do when we take
Are you fake filming? You're trying to be like an Asian?
I'm actually doing work while you.
Actually, I'm kind of a nice shot. Set this up really well. I think. You got it? Yep. Thank you. Blurring a license plate and then doing it.
My license plate is all over the internet doing really fucking illegal things. You can do whatever you want.
I just do it. Like blurring a license plate?
No. Tom's talking with a mouthful of food.
Yeah.
I might have to break into my stash of breakfast foods.
Sometimes Evan has like 10 different things over there on his bench.
I have a bag of 2 different.
You've got to have goodies. I get really hangry, so if I don't have food, like I'm a dick.
Did you see the post I put up this morning on the Z3?
Yeah.
So this woman is like in her late 70s, I'd say, and she was shit talking. She like told Evan or Zach was trying to look under the hood, and she said $20 to look under the hood. And then she looked right at me, and she goes, "You like how clean the engine is? I detailed it myself, and like it was spotless. That's pretty. She spent 4 hours detailing the engine. I have never.
This is a supercharged
Supercharged
Ford
4-cylinder. Weird. This. So it's got Diamond parts and a Downing Atlantic supercharger, which is crazy because they haven't made that for almost 20 years, but there's still a phone number on the website, and if you call it, the guy still answers. No way. Yeah. He's like, I don't have any parts, but I can give you advice. Perfect. What? She doesn't have a computer. Huh? She doesn't have a computer.
Just a supercharger.
No, I'm saying I'm hoping Sydney's not watching on live right now. So look at stuff like this.
Hey, see you.
Nice, Andy. Evan's stuffing his face full of donut holes. I'm gonna eat some maple glazed for lunch. Hey, I see you.
Powen! I miss you, Powen. You're not doing anything. Come
You can see dick butt.
dick butt. It's classic.
You can't see dick butt. In my photo, you can see.
Oh, you can photo. Can you see dick butt in your YouTube?
Mm, no.
It was there for like 3 months.
Oh wait, you
before I
might
noticed
be
it.
able to. Nope. Now you can. Hey guys, there's dick butt, right? I'm doing that like Eiffel Tower thing. There. Like for dick butt.
Oh, and he's watching.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna join you on that.
It's tea time. So if you have questions, ask them. I'll come back and answer if I know the answer or if I don't.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
That was the weirdest day. No, it was good. No, it was like that was the big surprise.
70s supercars are like, dude.
It was like if they built an R8 in the 70s. That's what like was a good drive. It's like wow. And oh my god, I've never M88. That was my first M88 too. So that sounded really cool. It was scary. It was my first dog leg, so I was a little terrified because if you do a 4.3 wrong, you do a 4.1, and then you have to spend $500,000 as a sorry. So the first time I went to a stop sign, I was like rolling, and I went to do it, and I hit the middle of the gate, and I was just like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna put it in neutral and roll to the stop. We'll just reset it. I'm like, I was like pretty confident I was in third, but I wasn't like that. Then like I don't know, it took like 10 minutes went by and I was fine with the car, but like the first 10 minutes were terrifying.
Ever driven a 914?
No, that's a car I'd like to drive.
So it has like a K pattern shifter, and it's over here. It's the hardest car I've ever driven.
Weird. So like when
It's like
so it does like that. It does like a
it's like first was out to the left, and then second was back to the left, but it wasn't an H pattern. It was like a K pattern.
weird.
I just honestly, I was driving one like first thing in the morning to autocross, and the owner was with me, and I kept screwing it up, and then someone rolled coal on us. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
you're like this high off the ground.
Yeah. And they like really got it in there.
That's really shit. Gross.
Let me know when that's about to come out. And then I'll
Yeah, sure.
you away.
Okay, so let's see. We've got some questions. So chat helped me decide on next project car, B5, A4, E36. I vote E36. You think like any Acura RSX, that's a weird thing to throw in the mix. If you want reliability, go with the Acura, but God love you if you can find a rust-free one. E36 is the way to go if you can find a clean one, and they're cheap, and everyone can fix them literally anywhere.
Did you say anyone can fix an E36 anywhere?
Well, if you
I'm gonna slightly disagree with that.
well, no, but like think about it. If I buy
You haven't seen what we've seen.
no, but I'd imagine like you could go anywhere in the country and find a shop. You know, you might have to look for the right shop, but there's a shop.
I do have to say, sometimes the head gasket goes in E36, and you just end up having to replace it.
Oh my god! I didn't say they're going to be reliable.
We broke 50.
Yikes! I feel like if you have an E36, there's always going to be a shop somewhere within 100 miles that's reputable enough to fix them.
20 miles in this area.
Yeah. Are rod bearings just a matter of time on all S65s, or are some engines just not affected? So basically, yes, it is a wear item. The clearance tolerances are very low. So over time, they will wear. They're going to wear no matter what. But what's really going to kill them is those cold starts and putting load on them when when the oil isn't warmed up. Because basically what you're doing is you're taking that 10W60, which is thick. It's like sludge. And if it's cold, it's not getting in between those bearings. So that's what's going to wear them the most. But what you'll notice is it's not like this nice, happy, even wear. When they really fail, it's on the edges that they start to really strip down. And that's what'll, basically grenade your motor, because it'll just seize and then you're toast. So it's a good idea, just for peace of mind, to do it somewhere between 60 and 80,000 miles. 60 is a little preemptive, and there's a lot of misinformation about how you can tell if they're going. So some people swear by Blackstone Labs. A lot of people don't. A lot of people say that that's snake oil, and it's never going to really tell you if it's going to. Yes, maybe. What I'm interested to see is what mine look like, because I've been doing Blackstone Lab analysis every 5,000 miles for the past like 30,000 miles. So when we pull these out, we're going to find out, is it toast? Do they look like shit? Or did the Blackstone Labs kind of, I don't know. We're going to find out. There's only, we're not doing like real science here. We can only show the data we have and make correlation based on that. If you're looking for a decent E36 chassis, definitely don't ask Cowan. He's very bad at that. All comes down to how you treat the engine. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, you need to let them warm up. You don't want to put load on them, but and yeah, for example, Coderman here, they did his rod bearings like 2-3 months ago, and his Blackstone lab showed tons of lead. So it was like it was time. Things were moving quickly. So it is possible. The problem is how quickly is the time between release of lead, copper, etc., and failure. So if you were really like, let's say it's only like a 500-mile window that it starts really bleeding out all these materials and they're starting to wear, and then you get your Blackstone labs done and it tells you that, great. But what if you just did an oil change, everything was great, and then the wear really started to happen and you went another 5,000 miles? Like that's not helping you. So. PTFE. What's PTFE?
Maggie says you're in the way.
He says, just use PTFE for fuck's sake. I don't know what that means. He'll tell us. He's very riled up about this PTFE. I don't know what that means. We'll learn. Hi, Maggie. I have your phone. Teflon for your motor.
Hi, Maggie.
Teflon. It's like Teflon for your motor. Maybe that's a joke. Maybe he's joking, like wrap the bearings in Teflon and then they won't spin. Maybe I'm just missing the joke through the internet. Bond to wear surfaces, doesn't sit in the oil. I don't know. No jokes. He's very serious about this.
Okay.
Well, I will not be the guinea pig of that.
I think the 10W6 has plenty of additives in it as it sits. I don't think you need to add anything else to it to make.
What am I drinking? It's a rum and Coke. It's 11:11. No, it's tea.
All right, we got 2 bolts away, and we'll
all right, back to filming.
Lovely assistant here.
And now we get rained on. Yeah, be careful with the camera. Isn't it pretty? I like. I think this is so sexy.
Maybe he's like an additive salesman.
I just don't know enough about it to be like.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Let's go install this.
Yeah.
Polytetrafluoroethylene.
I mean, the dumpster is the same size, just wider.
Oh no, we've got to. We might need to moderate this conversation a little bit. I'm telling you, this is what rod bearings do to people.
Yeah.
They make everyone so angry.
I mean, you're not the dumpster. Your dumpster is the same size. They drop the dumpster again. No, but he said if he said if it's overflowing, we'll just do
I am running a serious social media campaign right now. Oops.
So what do I need to know under here? What am I looking like? Obviously, I'm seeing my crank and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
But show me what you're gonna do. You're gonna release.
So we're gonna pick up the oil pickups here. Where your scabbing pump takes your oil from the front of yourself. Pick up the main oil pump. So here's your main oil pump. Remove all these, and we're gonna get access to the crank. And we're gonna turn it over, thanks for section by section. We'll do one section at a time. Remove bolts and caps. Take the cap off. Inspect the bearing. Push the rod up. Take the other bearing off the other side. Take the crank. Install the bearings. Install the bolts. Let it all together. And just go section by section.
Is there any break-in service required on these? Like, if people want to do like,
No, it's an oil surface as long as there's oil pressure there. You should be good, but we generally recommend people to take it easy the first, 100 or so miles if you're not hearing any awful noises.
Evan, tell me your like startup procedure. I mean, it's all about
Yeah,
keeping the
well,
pressure up.
Yeah, so we'll start the motor. We'll kick the motor up to 2,000 RPM, just so we're making sure we're getting good oil pressure to the bearings. Make sure they're not oil starving. And then we'll let it run for a little bit. Make sure all the hard edges kind of get knocked off if there are any.
And would you normally recommend like a 5,000-mile oil change after, or like 500 and then do another one?
No, just a regular oil change.
Just drive it.
Should be good. Cool.
I'm going to get covered in oil. It's hard with race cars, Tom, because guys will come in on a Thursday and they're doing a club race on Saturday and they need new bearings. So and we don't have a dyno, so drive it up and down the street, hold our hands up. But I mean, her braking period is going to be on track.
It's not like we're replacing cams or something like that, which has hardened surfaces
Right.
that we have to wear.
There's hardened surface on the soft surface.
Oh yeah, what was the S54 cam follower braking period or braking procedure? It's 20 minutes of like 3,000 RPM.
20 minutes of higher.
Yeah, you're walking. It was a lot.
Yeah, like you just sit there with a brick on the that's actually pretty standard for camshaft braking procedures.
It makes you wonder how much of that they did. I mean, I'd love to see the sheet of a build sheet for how the procedures went on these engines in the factory, especially the older ones. Just in case you ever thought an oil change really got all the oil out.
We've done it.
Thank God for these two pads. Oh my God, they're great.
Whoop.
It's okay. Everything is soft. Not that kind of video, huh? No, we didn't take the purple pill.
God, so many stories we can't tell with a live stream.
This live stream, you have no idea how much it has censored the shop right now.
We don't even have Archer on.
No, we don't have
That would be a copyright infringement. I'm actually glad I didn't have to say, "Oh, turn music off, turn Archer off."
one would be listening to very grotesque comedy. Very offensive.
It's a Plum Sakura and stuff.
Terrible. Maggie says hi, Evan.
Hi, Maggie.
He's on the floor. He's...
Oh my God, I watched too much Paw Patrol today.
Oh, me neither. How could you possibly watch too much Paw Patrol? It's so good. I actually don't know what that is. I know it's a kid's show.
Yeah.
But like, I'm now at the point where like Paw Patrol, all I know about it is from a business perspective. It is like one of the most lucrative franchises of all time. Matt asks, Jake, are you Team Chase or Team Rocky?
My son's favorite character is the recycling dog.
Paw Patrol will be there on the double. I'm learning a lot about Paw Patrol today.
Set up my surgery.
Oh, Tom, I'm for the first time ever, I think I'm in over my head motorcycle. Oh, I signed up for the Mount Washington Hill Climb.
Awesome. Oh, you're definitely in over your head. Those guys are those guys literally dedicate like 8 million hours for one day.
It was the first time ever I told Maggie I was going to sign up for something on Motorsport Reg, and she just said, "No, you're not." Please, I love you, wifey. All the essentials: torque, PB blaster.
Always need PV blaster.
Alright, before you have the bearings out, I'm gonna do some braking.
Okay.
That noise is time. Probably want to shut off.
No, they're fine.
Fire headphone users.
Yeah. iPhone camera is like literally better than everything now. So
Isn't that just always been
ridiculous. So what are we looking at here?
We got ARP hardware. Delicious. And we have Calico code there.
So this is what they do. They're VAC bearings, and then they go to Calico for
For their coding process. Yep.
Oh, okay.
You missed me.
Go back.
So Jake, yes, we don't. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. So there's no way to tell which is upper and lower, and does it
Not
matter?
with the Calicos. And they have to just stack them on there. Because I think because of the Calico coating, it wears off and it won't really.
There's probably some marketing link in here.
Oh.
We've just opened them up after 20, 30 hours of race use. They look new.
So they're not. Are they different thicknesses?
I mean, I can pull the data sheet and I can tell you exactly.
Yeah, let's just look. I just want to know. This is something that's going to stress me out for.
That's the hard part. And, trusting aftermarket vendors. It's hard because sometimes you get a company that has 100 products and 3 suck, so they get a bad reputation. But
Well, I
in
mean,
case-
this is like everyone uses these. This one is kind of the thing.
when we do WPC OE, they're tops and bottoms, blues and greens.
Yeah.
Totally short. Are we not allowed to listen to any music? Because he's live streaming? Oh. What if I sing? That's demonetized. Beatbox? Tom, tell us about copyright infringement. Like, could we have music on the background? It'll get copyrighted. YouTube has an algorithm that picks up. They will know immediately.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, I mean, we all have Spotify on our phone. We know how fast you can recognize.
It's true.
What are you reading? Are you fresh?
We have sound. Don't worry. We were just muted having a conversation. Let's see. We're back. It just feels, it's one of those things where it's like, it feels like you can't make the right choice.
No, there's so much information out there, and not many people know how to decipher it. That's what we typically go with stuff we know, right? The VAC, the stock.
Yep. So I mean, that's it. You've done probably 5 or 10 of those, so that makes me feel comfortable. And I know, like I said, I talked to Matt because he's done 3,000 miles on his now. So, but these are the things that just like give me eye twitches because it's like you can't know because every time you ask the question to somebody, you'll get both answers. So the car is not very modded. The only modifications really are a tune from Brent Tuning and a Corsa axle back exhaust. So it's pretty stock. When I go to the track, I run Apex 18-inch by, I think they're 18 by 10s all around, and I just do a 275 square setup with Nitto NTO ones. So car is very stock, other than a tune. Pulleys, I mean, look, if you're trying to get literally every single digit horsepower out of your car, then pulleys might give you an edge. I sit in a lot of traffic, so an underdriven pulley isn't really something that I want because I'll probably just drain my battery. I don't know if it's as bad in these as it is in the E46s, but
I say for pulleys, they're really only meant for race cars.
Yeah.
They're really, if things are spinning really quickly, you'd want to kind of turn them down. I mean, race cars live that life at wide open throttle.
Exactly.
So, street car.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
you're not gaining any horsepower.
No, if I'm doing pulleys on a street car, it's just to say I did it. But if you really want to start gaining power, you start ripping things off your accessories, and now you don't need your AC, and then you go for it.
Yeah, stripping weight's more beneficial to you than pulleys.
For sure.
All right. We're about to commence.
I hope you guys understand how stressful this is for me. I mean, these guys do this all the time, but like, I've got my poor car with its pants down.
Do you have an iPhone watch with a heart rate monitor?
If I had that, I think
jump.
it would just automatically call ambulances for me.
Clean off the anti-rust coating on them.
Here, we're just preparing bearings and bolts, so I'll let you watch that. It is like open heart surgery, and like part of me is really glad that I get to be here watching this. Part of me really wishes I dropped it off and did not fucking look at it.
It's like watching how your hamburger get made.
Yeah, this is like, hey, you want to come watch your mom's surgery? No, I don't.
I had talked to Jacob how he got to watch his son be born.
Yeah, that would stress me out.
Born wasn't the right word.
Yeah.
Extracted.
You ever have a toaster that pops the toast out of
Oh
the top?
my god.
Sorry. No, my son was born via cesarean, and I'm tall, and I watched over the curtains the whole time. And at one point, a nurse came over to me and made eye contact with me and actually tried to turn my head to keep my attention at my wife.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I go, I understand what you're doing. Do you mind if I watch the surgery? And she said, no. said, okay.
That's not for me.
And then Maggie said, is there a lot of blood? And it looked like a Civil War gut shot.
Jesus.
And I looked over the curtain and I looked back at Maggie. I go, no, not much. And I looked back at the doctors and they both winked at me.
The best part is I know Maggie's watching this live stream right
Oh,
now.
she's heard me tell this story.
So somebody asked, is my car daily drivable the way it is? Absolutely. I mean, the car's basically bone stock.
They should
I mean,
see
not
what-
right now.
It's better. Right this very moment, it is not daily drivable.
I love this block.
It is cool.
It doesn't have the
I just love how short the block itself is.
It doesn't have the little machine scalloping in it like the S85 does to hold or remove oil. So the lower pan on the S85 has these like fine little machining scallops in it, and it pulls it scrapes the oil off the weights of the crank as it passes by.
I'm surprised this doesn't do that. It's basically just
Well, the way the block is designed, it's basically effectively an oil scraper.
Yeah.
It is. Maybe balance is more important on the S85 because it's longer.
Balance is very important on T10s. They're not a very balanced motor.
Let's turn that computer towards it. Thank you. Evan actually just did a class on this motor, and it was they brought it back after being gone for 3 years. It's just a motorsport, BMW motorsport. And he came back and he was like, "Teach us everything." You know what your engine doesn't have is a $3,800 Vanos pump.
well, my other engine does. I am a fucking glutton for punishment.
If you blow your Vanos pump, people listening, send it down to Dr. Vanos and he can rebuild them. Yep. He fixed ours for a third the price.
Bracketry. Remove.
Let me set you up with some more paper towels here.
What? I think I'm okay. That there, I got my stash under my.
And do you have a printed out cylinder sheet?
I do not.
Yeah, let's get one of those.
There's the one we've been using, but I think it's.
Make it fine. It'll be on camera.
There you go. It's bendy. Let me see if I can find a flat one.
That was flat.
Here you go. Flat.
It's amazing how simple that is. It just makes things look good. Yeah. All right, ready?
Here we go.
Okay, let's start.
Let's see. Let's start with.
What time is it? Zach? It looks okay.
Oh, these are the bottoms. The bottoms are always the best looking. Yep, look great. Using bolts.
Got the first one out. Show you in a second. Here.
Really?
Yep.
You think so?
I don't know.
Oh boy, that makes me so happy. That's exactly what I wanted to see.
Oh yeah, right on time.
Right on time.
They're not great.
Oh man.
Can I show you Josh Anthony? You have
Just starting to go in, getting into the Babbitt. The rest of the bearing looked great.
Here's an
Plenty of-
S54 from the other lift. Yikes. Yeah. I don't know if you want to see that.
Okay, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that there were bearings that were on their way out, and that I'm doing this for a reason, and that they're not all just coming out super clean, because then it's just a waste of time, and I could have just sold the car or whatever. But I mean, given the fact that the car's doing like 4 to 6 events a year, and they're pretty abusive track events for the most part, especially in the temperatures that we're doing them at, this makes me feel good.
I've asked that question a few different times. Some people have said the outer bearings, but I think that's more like
I feel good right now.
A little relieved.
Yeah, like that's what I wanted to see. I was so disappointed that you were showing me a nice bearing.
Oh, the bottom bearings don't get the beating that the upper bearings do.
Yeah.
We'll show you.
how like
So these bearings, these caps and rods are known as
it went the way it went.
cold cracked or cold.
Proper way to go.
See, they cryogenically freeze them,
I had a
and basically what they do is they hit them with a hammer and they shear them. So each cap can only fit onto the rod that it belongs to. You can see all these knots, perfectly smooth line here. It's got all the imperfections and this little nick here. So each bearing cap fits perfectly onto the rod.
And only that one.
And only this one.
Exactly.
If you put it on the wrong rod, you're gonna have some serious issues.
Wait, hold on.
Unlike like S52s, they machine each cap, so you can just kind of slap the caps around ish. Not really, but this is a very kind of unique way of.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if I were to look at that, it just looks trash. It just
Yeah.
looks like a giant.
No, it is purposefully done so they get a perfect mating surface. Because what they do is they'll machine the bore first for the rod bearing, and then they'll cut it. So they won't. They'll make sure this bore is perfectly machined. You always look for the numbers. These numbers will match up with the numbers on the rod. They always put the numbers together, and that way it'll be in the correct location.
Sorry about that. Trying to film with this.
Frank?
Whatever happens, I pull the nut off. Or slide it down from. If it comes out, go deal with it. And if they're loose, aluminum brakes do really much faster. And a lot more. So you pulled out Brian's studs on purpose, is what you're saying? No, I did not. Right, so try not to.
And speaking of studs, you said we're keeping these wheel studs.
Yes, less than a year old.
I thought you were going to talk about me.
Name of the game is cleanliness.
So, is it smarter to do like just call them out and say like, oh, these are all the uppers, these are all the lowers?
I've done that before. Where I'll just pull from each.
Like we've decided this is lower. This is upper.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Does it matter? I mean,
It doesn't matter. They're all of these are machined to the same dimensions.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. Toss this one up. Oops. That is wrong. That is incorrect.
cut.
That is me getting distracted. You want the back of the bearing halves to be completely free and dry of any oil.
Do you need like brake cleaning?
No. Just off. Nice thin coating. Now we'll go motor.
What's your leg stop?
Evan, do you have a Dremel that works?
No.
Is yours busted too?
You just shove the battery in it and it will work.
So our replacement Milwaukee Dremels failed after less than 3 months. And we were told that they never had that failure before.
We've had
5 of them?
We've had 3. We've had 5 of them, and they've all failed.
5 of them, they've all failed.
And pretty much the same gas.
Problem is that I like the variable speed, and you lose that. We didn't even get through the discs that they came with. So what are the torque specs on these?
The ARP
3.5. Okay.
the ARP says 45 pounds. If you don't have not.
All right. Noises. Sorry, Tom. That'll work.
You're good.
But the thoughtful, the multi-stage process requires you to tighten them each bolt to 20 meters and then 90 degrees, and then back them off, and then tighten 20 meters, and then 90 degrees, and then back it off, tighten 20 meters, and then 90 degrees.
So that's a lot of fun on that too.
Oh, it's awesome. I enjoy it so much. Makes me feel manly. I like the slow burn on that one. Jake just slowly got it.
I missed it.
Oh yeah, my arms are dead after an SAT.
Oh yeah.
A triple torque stock bearing.
Yeah. Fuck that.
There's a "you broke my tech" tax on the bill. Like he can't work the next day. So
We've been at it for 2 hours. I'm doing a full like normal video that will probably be 10 minutes, but I thought along the way, if you wanted to see what the job looked like in real life, I would just do the live stream. So feel free to tune in and out. We've just done our first, and we're starting to see that like the original bearings were not looking great. We're definitely on our way out. So it's pretty exciting that we're doing this today, because this winter may not have gone very well.
Yikes.
These were fucked, man.
Yeah, they're on their way. They are on their way. That's not bad. It's not bad.
Tom,
They're
go
on
look
their
at our wall of shame.
Yeah, seriously, look at the wall of shame.
It kept growing. We had to give it its own shelf in the office. All right, I gotta go get a blowjob.
That's how it's thrilled.
I hope that's on this. Listen. Hang on, ready? Oh, just missed it. Yeah, these would have probably lasted me a little while, but like I still wouldn't want to be going and doing hard track days on them. That's the kind of shit that makes me nervous.
Yeah, you have 6 months per year left before there's probably an issue on the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But I bet there's going to be one in there that makes you like.
Yeah, there's always one that
Yeah.
you just gotta go, nah.
Yikes.
We had a guy tell us that like he had a bad feeling about his 66,000 mile entry. And he actually like he stopped driving it because his appointment was out like 3 weeks. He's like, I'm gonna stop driving it because I'm so nervous. And he drove it here, and he even told me he's like, I kept the RPMs down. He didn't do any oil sample or anything. And he just kind of put it in the air, and we're like, haha, this guy. He had one bearing that was just gold. Oh, and we like sent it to him. We're like, dude, you wouldn't have made it home.
That's
He's
amazing.
like, how did you? What Spidey senses do you?
I think he's just like me, where he feels like shit all the time. So when he's right, it's just because he's always terrified.
And then you know the guy with the tennis ball green, Tim3? He does photography, or his friend Eric does photography. A lot of cute girls on cars.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
We did it, and his was like minutes away from disaster as well.
Like, it's incredible how much better this iPhone is right now.
Doing social media in a garage.
Not cut myself on these very, very sharp machine edges. I had a 65 crank cutting good finger once. I just kind of ran my finger along here and it just sliced me. Oh, so sharp.
What were you saying?
On social media. It's funny to have you chatting with Evan because normally what Evan does is he says, "Okay, I'm starting. No one talk to me." Well, that's why I told Evan.
Yeah.
At the start, I'm like, if you just need to push me the fuck out of the way, it's more important that the car survives than me. He's done it 10 times. Yeah. You're gonna have to stop for lunch anyways. Yeah. I think I can't treat, but we should go get fried chicken sandwiches from Raven's Nest. I mean, I'm going there for dinner too. So.
I've rally crossed Wile's green 330 Ti. This was
Is it John or is it John?
Steele.
Jay Steele. Sounds like his porn name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Starring Jason.
I never rented my car to a porn star that I know of. Must be John. You need fire? Man, I wish Netflix would buy the rights to music.
That'd be cool.
So many good shows that
So you just kind of sandwich it up there?
Yeah. The next one, you can get in, I can show you the kind of little technique I did. So,
Tom, I heard a story from a customer whose name he asked me not to disclose. But he wanted an option with an E9 CS, an E9 CSL, and a 2002 turbo. He has an in-law. He has the CSL headed to Mario now for a 6-figure restoration.
Who's Mario?
Langston up in Nashville.
I'm too poor to know who that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice, great, great shot. What's the value of the old BMWs?
Never driven one of them. That's one car that I'd be afraid to drive because I'd be like, what if it sucks?
The E9?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because a guy, a comm member, had one for years, and it's just crazy to be out on track with a Batmobile. Like even 10 years ago, they were worth, 6 figures, but his was just such a race car that didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
the only one I drove was an automatic, and that thing was just it was stupid. It felt special driving. Electric was different.
I agree. Something they don't make them like they used to. If I see one more comment on Porsche videos, why are your gauges tilted the wrong way? Like, oh my god!
I literally described it in the video, and I still get the question.
Well, I'm doing something I should have done over at George's shop.
Like for at least 2 girls with the towels.
It's awesome to watch it.
Oh yeah.
Paw Patrol. It looks, it's incredible. It literally, it's like, I mean, seamless in the most literal way.
Yes, it is. I mean, you need a microscope in order to see any form of seam.
How are the engine mounts? Oh, well, let me show you. Where did it go? There it is.
I'm waiting for this comment.
Yeah, here we go. These are the engine mounts. They are, well, one of them. They're not great.
Yeah, but
Quite excited about these getting replaced.
oh, we're replacing them?
Oh, yeah.
I thought at least use them for the winter. I mean,
We have a rubber welder, right? We can,
dude, Bluetooth engine mounts.
What's JB Weld for?
Let's just, do you have just like a big piece of aluminum? I have aluminum
I mean,
tape.
We could
We'll
make
just-
you, we could make you some solid motor
We'll
mounts.
just make a solid motor mount. It's really a shim more than a mount, but
All right, torquey.
Twerky.
I don't know how to torque.
Good. Your name would be Hannah Montana.
What is it? 45 pounds?
45 pounds.
Keep going.
If you have a question,
This is always one.
those ones.
Is the race actually going? No, it's practice. We'll mark your own. Yep.
Just let me know. It's been done.
Wide body has fucking money those cars are. That's 960. That's a 960. Yeah. Oh, my Lindsay Racing control arms wore out. I'll just buy another set. They're only $2,300. I'm gonna fit on that Lindsay Racing 944 go part. Please, Pete Rokel's 944 turbo was such a maintenance pig that he bought a neon SRT4 and loves it because it's so much less maintenance. A neon race car that was prepped by back when it did. It was a fashion race car, wasn't it? I've looked at it closely.
all right. For those who stuck it out, I'm going to show you under the car.
Like, I recently really looked at it closely. I mean, it's got a bolted gauge and this stuff. I think the factory race car would have had a bolted gauge. Maybe not.
It was 2003. We didn't
PSA
understand
on
safety.
46 guys.
What'd you say?
About what?
About the war.
Oh, God.
What was this happening?
Oh, yeah. And also, for those of you who are BMW people, you understand all the failure points in every generation of the 3 Series. Most notably, people need to recognize that they need to reinforce the rear subframes of their E46 M3s because this is what happens. This is what happens, Larry. This is what happens. You see what happens? I mean, God, that's a lot of money.
This is what happens, Larry. Is Larry back?
No, it's from Big Lebowski.
Oh.
John Goodman beats the shit out of that C4 Corvette. You see what happens, Larry? This is what happens, Larry. This is what happens when you fuck with the wrong guy.
Shot of the turn over.
Sure.
This one's gonna be a few degrees.
No, that's fine. It's perfect.
That was the biggest sigh I've ever heard you do that. He's practicing sigh lots.
No. Front two.
Oh my god, I forgot how much I missed.
I'm gonna kill the live stream in a minute anyway. I think they get the point.
It's a lot of work.
Thank you for watching. There's gonna be like a real video on this and not just a 2-hour video of the same shot for all that time. But anyway,
Fumbling around,
we
acting like I know what I'm doing.
yeah. That makes me feel good. We'll see you in a bit.